Ladies and gentlemen, it's time. It's Thursday. It's Korner Booth pregame.
Hey, this thing on? Hello, testing.
No debate, cause they sold. I'm too official, got the drip, I got the sauce. Bring the proof when it's time to tell the truth. I'll be at the corner booth, find me in the corner booth, yeah. Still standing and defiant. Slay the competition, cause I'm walking like a giant.
What's up, Twitter world? There's my little OJ.
He's got an autographed OJ photo.
Has anybody heard the story about the Glizzy guy?
He fits today's generation.
Oh yeah, speaking of lady basketball players, Lola Bunny, bonkable. Yes or no?
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome in Korner Booth Podcast. We are live on a Monday. Some people are doing better than, of course, my St. Louis Battlehawks, who, of course, choked and lost. I might be a free agent after that display. That was awful. So I won this title. I may petition to get a Diamondbacks hat instead of that abysmal Battlehawks team. I may abstain now because that was awful. I am so disgusted with who I saw. Congrats to the Michigan Panthers, though. Absolute butt kicking up and down the field. And, of course, those losers with the Beer Snakes. Congratulations on winning the XFL title. It is Monday. We've got a new one of the best running backs in the league, or at least over the last couple of years. He is signing with a contender. We have speaking of running backs, we also have our top 10 running back rankings, which should be fun. On top of that, we have, of course, a game to the NBA Finals, which I watched all 45 seconds of last night because I fell asleep during it. So I'm going off box score and highlights. Woohoo! All right, but that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I always shoot honest with you guys, but we are getting started right now. Joining my co-host, Defenders fan. He's got to win at something because all his other teams are losing at everything else. So, ladies and gentlemen, Matt Ordazzo.
The Yankees, they lost the series to Boston, but I think that just speaks to the character that, New York is. We don't want to kick them when they're down. They're not doing well. They're not doing what I think. I thought the Red Sox are actually going to be a wild card team. I'm not going to lie. I said it here on the show. I thought that pitching was going to be much improved with Buehler, with Crochet, and then just with the current set of guys that they had. I thought Bregman was going to be a spark in that offense for him. I just didn't expect them to have the season they're doing. So, you know what, Yankee fans, we are just giving people, we let them have that series because we are striding for a much bigger series in the future.
I've got a bone to pick with every single person who's on the Belly Up Baseball show. Y'all jinx my Diamondbacks and y'all jinx the Red Sox. Don't really care about the Red Sox. I think that's hilarious, but you jinx my Diamondbacks. I'm upset. So I'm a little annoyed about that. So a pox on all your teams. Whatever the hell it is, I don't know. I'm not really into that witchy, supernatural crap, whatever, but curse on all teams.
I was hurt when I saw that Burns was going in for Tommy John. I know obviously that affected you more.
Listen, it's like listen, the Rangers won without their ace in 2023, so it's never been done before. It's just, remember they lost to DeGrom through into the season. But it just sucks. And the problem is he has an opt-out after next year. And it's like, dude, he could just leave. And it's like he pitched 4 games for us. It's kind of bull. But yeah. I wonder if there's an opt-out clause we can use to get out of it. But then again, there's probably not because, of course, we're paying Jordan Montgomery not to pitch for us. Loser. I will say that. Also, our producer's here. Hi, Nate. What's up?
Hi. First off, happy Monday. As always, Jared, I'm sorry about your Hawks. It's okay. Hey, let's focus on the positives. Good season. On the next year. Matt.
Yeah. Nate, our defenders.
Game, I'm just saying.
One more game.
And your voice
Go Panthers.
One more game, and Nate finally has Nate and I finally have something to bond
Me
over.
and Matt will share a team for the first time, which will be fun.
Cut the head off the Beer Snakes.
Real quick, Jared, to answer your question, yes, there is an opt-out clause in Korner Booth's contract after the 2026 season.
Yeah, that I knew. I just wish there was a clause to not have to pay these bums when they get hurt, or at least pay a reduced part of their salary.
And there's a no trade provision through March 31st, 2027.
Oh. So we basically gave him all the power.
Yes.
Well, the good news is he does love Arizona. He does love playing in Arizona.
I would too.
So I'm hoping we don't. Okay, I swear to God, if I see one more schmuck beat writer say the Diamondbacks should sell, we're just below 500 and it's June. I hate when if you're a fringe team and you're not a top 5 team in the rankings. Oh, it's sell. It's like F off. Stop ruining it for baseball fans. I had to suffer enough. And Ken Kendrick and Derek Hall, if you morons start selling off our players because we're not in first place, we knew this was going to be a tough season. Just who gives? Everyone's back. We're going to get Puck back probably in about a month. Martinez is already back. We've gotten rid of Ginkel and Mantiply and all the other dummies who just can't pitch anymore, apparently. The bullpen's improving. Shelby Miller's been a gem in the rough. Hang in there. It's going to get better. If we got to fire our pitching coach, great. Do that. I'm more for that than us selling at the deadline. I hate that. As a mid-market team, well, I guess we're now almost a big market team, I hate hearing that. If we were 20 games below 500, yeah, shell them out. Let's go. Send them places. Get prospects. No. Work with what you got. Maybe we'll get a reliever. Let's work this out because Ryan Nelson's a great number 5. I'm okay with Erod as long as he figured out how to pitch again. Gallen and Kelly have been a little shaky, but they'll get better. I'm trying to keep myself composed here. And Brandon Pfaadt has one bad start every 5 starts. It's what he does. He'll strike out 12 guys and throw a 4-hit shutout through 7. The next game, he'll give up 5 home runs. It's what he does as a pitcher. Every 5 starts, Pfaadt gets shelled. It's what he is as a pitcher. It's been his MO since he got started up. Maybe you can go trade one of our our 8,000 outfielders for a freaking pitcher. I don't know. Just do that.
You want Miller?
We'll go take Mason Miller at this point because honestly, he might do better in Diamondbacks red.
I mean, listen, realistically, unless you're Baltimore, unless you're the White Sox, sorry, Nate, unless you're the Athletics, Miami, Atlanta, Pittsburgh, and Colorado, you shouldn't sell right now.
Yeah, I hate
because every team that I didn't mention is within 2 to 4 games of 500, and we're like you said, we're in June.
But the deadline's in a month and a half. I hate the rage bait. I hate the clickbait. I'm just gonna say a little prayer to the big guy upstairs and to the baseball universe. Hey, listen, let's just get Diamondbacks over 500 by the end of July. That's all I care about. Let's get them within striking distance. Yeah, it's an abomination. I told Nate he can't wear any Dodgers gear against me, but Brooklyn Dodgers is fine because it's grandfathered in because, everyone loves the Brooklyn Dodgers. They just died in the West like everyone else.
It's pretty frowned upon, too, if you're going to boo like Jackie Robinson attire. So,
yeah, true.
Holy cow, blue on blue does not look good. We'll save this for another time.
You look like the Cookie Monster.
Yeah. Nom.
All right. So enough baseball. Congrats, obviously, to the Defenders and the Panthers.
That's gonna be a good show. You got both of the MVP candidates just going off. I mean, whoever wins is probably going to be MVP, I would assume.
I mean, I guess the worst case scenario would have been if it was Defenders versus Stallions, because you get a sloppy kind of good defending team in the Defenders versus a really odd and 4-time repeating champion possibly in the Stallions. But instead, now you get a really fun, exciting team, the Panthers, and you get the other MVP candidate in Te'amu with a good defense, and it's there. The best case, obviously, would have been Panthers versus Battlehawks, but the problem is the Battlehawks. I'm sorry. I've given up on Max Duggan. I have. He looked awful.
That was quick.
This isn't.
Listen, you are a professional level quarterback, and dude, I'm sorry. It's just he just looked sloppy, and the offensive line looked sloppy, and it was pathetic. I watched. I was like, this is gross. I'm like, maybe it's because my pro football team, the Nate team we all know and love, I watched probably one of the best statistical seasons a team's had. Elite defense, elite running the ball, good passing. And then I watched, my college football team have a very good offensive season. Defense, when you start When you start 4 guys in the secondary who are all freshmen by the end of the season, you're going to get shelled. It's what happens. Unfortunately, that's the breaks. I don't think Cristobal imagined half his team would be injured by week 8, but that's what happens. It's unfortunate. So yeah, no, it's when I watch my third team, the Battlehawks, and I watch them basically they looked like a little kid team out there. They looked like they were little brothered by the defenders the entire time. Matt's defenders never relinquished control. The only spark of hope they got was that pick 6 right before halftime. And then what do? They give up great field position and literally let them score again. I sit there and watch. I was like, oh Lordy. It's the second they just could not keep momentum. They could not keep any kind of punch to them. So yeah, it was kind of pathetic. They have to redeem themselves next year. Go get Carson Wentz. Let's make this a family affair, baby. Let's start chucking nukes. I'm with it.
Maybe
it'd be great too.
Matt, you go first, Matt. You go first.
It'd be great too. I'm gonna pitch this to you. I think it's actually would be great, even though like on paper it doesn't sound exciting, but I think it'd be great. Imagine either, who's the little storyline NFL quarterback, Joshua Dobbs, or Josh Johnson. That would be fun.
Too old.
Josh Johnson lit it up for the Jets for like 2 games. It was amazing.
I
thought he was
fringe guy. You need a fringe guy, almost like a Matt Corral type. Like I love how Dennis Ritter turned down multiple UFL teams. I'm like, bro, so you're just gonna wash out of the NFL and not play again? Like,
so you're gonna go be a 3rd string guy making like Yeah,
this is the thing I don't get. I get the pay's lower for now, but it's like, dude, why don't you try to make it in the league and reshape your game? Like, like Perkins will probably get an NFL offer this year. He probably will.
Yeah.
Tiama came the brought out of a barn. He's going to be a career guy in the UFL.
If he gets a pro offer, it's not going to go well. He's not going to have a PJ Walker type scenario. You know who my bold prediction would be for like the next like UFL quarterback coming out of the NFL? Easton Stick. That's my bold prediction.
Give me Jared Stidham.
Ooh, I like that one too. Nate, you got one? You're going to say Tommy DeVito, aren't you? There he is.
Listen, New Jersey Generals might be a thing. Give me Tommy Cutlets playing QB for the Generals.
Oh, man. Could you imagine if Hartford gets that team?
No. Please, no. Please, no.
Why?
Please,
what
no.
do you have against the New Jersey Generals?
Because if the Generals come back, I'll be a fan of them because, go Giants. Go Giants.
Why, Nate, be a team, a California team? Like, why would you? There's no affiliation.
Oh, yeah, like the LA Wildcats. I remember they were a team.
Well, they're talking about the LA something, the LA Breakers or something like that, or New Orleans. There's a LA something that they're going to do.
They should have the Sacramento Nates.
Oh, God, yes. That's actually my team and ultimate team on the MLB The Show.
Oh, man, could you imagine if Hartford were to get a team and it was right on the Hartford-Mass line and the quarterback was like Brian Hoyer? Just Brian Hoyer comes back to New England.
Yeah, no, get him away from me. Give me like Tim Boyle.
Oh, God. Listen, I'm not going to lie. I would jump ship from the Defenders so quick to go root for the Hartford team since I can go see them.
Oh, yeah, me too. Are you kidding me? I would go right away.
For the love of everything, if I have to experience Tim Boyle again, I can't.
Bro, here's the issue, and this is something that the Battlehawks have to understand. And this is why I'm holding off for buying any gear. Because if they do expand this offseason, let's say they like Philadelphia gets a team. I don't know. I might have to double dip in the city of Philly.
I would say I would honor a loophole in the prize if you want to trade in the Battlehawks hat for just a sports hat.
Yeah, I might get like the Diamondbacks hat with the red brim and the teal D and the black upper. I've always wanted one of those. That's
probably all the same price, anyways.
I would cover the difference because I'm not a cheap bastard, but I am, but only for me, not for you guys. But I'd basically take whatever the Battlehawks hat I wanted, which I think was like $39 or whatever, and then I'd just basically be like, okay, let me just add the extra $10 on my bill to whatever it is. But we'll talk later. Honestly, I'm not in the mode to buy a hat right now anyway, so we'll talk around the All-Star game. Maybe the All-Star hats will be cool this year.
You know what? This year might be our sports year. So Jared, your Eagles just won the Super Bowl, of course. So congrats again to you guys. Matt's Defenders could possibly win the UFL Championship, which is good. Yeah, that leaves my team.
We all know the Yankees are going to choke.
What team is going to win? Do you have a hockey team?
Oh.
The Oakland Athletics.
Oh,
All right, Nate.
Well, listen,
Nate,
honestly,
I thought you were going to say Phillies.
If the A's end up going to the playoffs and they end up winning this thing, I will buy a black and green A's hat. I love that hat.
I will
Jared, they
lose
have-
my crap.
Jared,
Bro,
they have
listen.
26 wins.
What?
They have 26 wins. They're not going to the playoffs.
Out of how many games left below 500? They were literally in second place like a month ago.
They're 7.5 out. They're 26 and 41.
Oh,
It's all about the Phillies. I'm just
Yeah.
kidding.
listen. That they could use some wins too. I'd love to see, but the problem is now Bryce Harper's out for the season because of an elbow shot from.
Yeah, I
Ryder?
think they lost.
10 days. 10 days. He'll be fine.
Was it Dummy with the tight pants and the mustache who hit him in the elbow? I can't remember.
Yeah.
Oh, Strider.
We shelled the hell out of him when we went to Atlanta last week. Oh my Lord. I texted our boyfriend of the show, Scotty Kaiser. I said, backwards K Pod and Craft Brew. I texted him like, what's your opinion on Strider, bro? Because he's just corny as hell, and I can't stand his aura, man. It bugs me.
God, the Philly lost Harper for that short amount of time, and then they go one for their next 10 games or 9 games, and now they're 4.5 out of the Mets. You know, your boy Brian's loving this right now.
Yeah,
and
I've
Juan
seen him
Soto's
all.
not even really like Juan Soto yet. He's not fully there yet. And they're already almost 20 games over. So it's just scary because he's going to, even if it's not this year, he's going to settle in. And that's what's going to be scary.
Yeah, looking forward to see him tomorrow. he's a happy camper, which is good. Good for him.
I still am putting a curse on the Mets. Any kind of like dark voodoo I can send.
Hey, their pitching staff is good this year.
Oh no! Listen, they are playing well. I just hate their management and their managers. I could care less about the players for throwing the game last year. Also, their fans for always treating me like crap when I go to their ballpark. Like, learn from Yankees fans. Be hospitable. I went to Yankee Stadium in April, and I was blown away. So actually, I'm going to make a rant here.
Uh-oh.
I was at a buddy's house last night, hanging out with him, his girl, his dad. We were having like a big barbecue, whatever, and we were talking about. His dad was asking me about, like, baseball teams and like what, like, as a Diamondbacks fan, who's like from a ballpark to go to. I said in order: Yankee Stadium, Fenway, City, and they're like, why? And I'm like, because here's the problem. Boston fans would bust my balls, but they honestly were like, you guys are good. This is that Justin Martinez kid's great. Or they'd be like, oh, we're up. And then we'd score 5 runs in an inning. I'm like, whatever. It's the Sox, whatever. And they wouldn't care. Yankees fans, they were talking smack. They were doing the whole 27 rings, whatever. But, you know, when Gino Suarez had a grand slam to put us up by 2 runs, they were like, you did say, watch Gino. He's going to hit one out. So they were respectful. They were inviting. I was wearing Diamondbacks gear walking into Monument Park. They were busting they were all like, oh, why are you Snakes? And they were asking me all these questions. And they were pretty inviting, even the counter people. I walk into Citi Field. It's hostile. I'm like, why are you all hostile? You've won 2 titles in your 75-year existence. We've won 1, almost won 2. We've only been around for 27 years. Second of all, you guys are literally the meme of sports right now. I'd honestly rather be a Jets fan than a Mets fan. But you guys have to overpay for overrated free agents. And the last 4 times I've been to a Mets game, I've almost gotten in a fight. One time in front of my poor grandparents, and I was minding my own business, and these 3 probably divorced like baseball dads in their stupid Met polos sitting on a bleacher behind me were giving me crap for wearing a Diamondbacks jersey and a Diamondbacks hat. And I'm hungover from the night before bar hopping my buddy. I'm ready to jump behind the bleacher and whoop them all. But I'm like, you know, I'm next to my grandmother. I'm not trying to catch an assault charge in New York City because 1, it's wrong. 2, I'm not trying to have them on my record. 3, I'm also in front of my grandparents. But they were so rude. Every time I go to a Mets game, everyone's looking at me like I'm like a Braves fan. I'm like, we play y'all twice a year. And since 2016, I think the Mets have owned the Diamondbacks. But honestly, y'all are just annoying. Seriously. Everyone always wonders why I crap on Mets fans and Mets players and the Mets as a whole. It's because y'all ask for it. Seriously. Learn some class from your crosstown rivals, the Yankees, or learn how to at least back it up like your rivals, the Phillies. You guys are weasels. I've done. Thank you for my TED Talk. That's me crapping on Mets fans and the Mets organization.
I'm not saying you're wrong about. I've been to a bunch of city. I should say,
Red Sox fans and Phillies fans outclass Met fans. I don't get it.
I've been to I've been to at least 3 or 4 Subway Series games in Citi Field in the last 5 years. I've never had an issue. I've never had an issue with anybody in the fans there and that. So it is interesting to hear like an Arizona Diamondback fan is having issues at the stadium because that doesn't make any sense. You would think a Yankee fan at a Mets stadium would be receiving it. But I will say,
they were winning by like 4 runs and they were still giving me crap. I'm like, what the hell?
I gotta toss those. I gotta toss. However, the saying is, I gotta give the Citi Field its roses. That is a beautiful stadium.
Oh, it's a beautiful
Great
ballpark.
food.
Horrible.
Great food. Great food. Great ballpark. Papa John's.
Amazing food. I actually thoroughly enjoy being at a game in Citi Field, but I despise the fans who are there. The workers are mean as hell if you're wearing an opposing jersey. At least they were to me. I was just minding my own business. They were rude as hell. I asked them questions. Like the Yankee Stadium attendants, they were just so nice, so classy. We just whooped their ass, and they were like chill as me and my guys. Twice in a row this month, man. Sorry. I'm sorry, Nate. I'm sorry. I'll buy you. I'll Venmo you to go get a non-alcoholic drink for yourself this week. All right, I'm sorry.
Oh, nah. You know what I'm getting from there? A 16-inch hot dog.
Hey,
1 pound of fries.
Relax on the glizzy, bro.
So you're getting a schlong.
It's sure. Dang it, it's Monday. Man.
If it's more than a foot long hot dog, it is not a hot dog.
You don't drop F-bombs on the Thursday show either.
I don't drop F-bombs either. I'm just going to say some like, weird. Never mind.
No deviant stuff until you get to the Thursday show, okay?
He just didn't need to do the hand gestures of it's this big. Sorry.
Hey, we're on Belly at YouTube. Stop it.
You enjoy your meal, Nate.
Thank you, sir. Plus, it comes with 1 pound of fries too.
And I hope the Giants win, which I never thought I'd ever say.
1 pound of
no.
Wait.
No, I'm there to see
how much I hate the LA Dodgers.
I'm there to see the home team win.
I don't care.
Who has 16-inch hot dogs and a pound of fries?
Dodgers Stadium.
My God, what do you got? Like 30 minutes to eat it, and you get a shirt or something?
And it probably costs about
fun.
as much as a jersey, so whatever. It's California.
That even sound like fun.
I will take a picture for you folks. I'm excited.
Just be careful, please.
I will. I promise. We're excited for it.
Yeah. Don't take the bowling.
On the lack of surprise that was Game 2 of the NBA Finals.
Yeah, it went exactly how I thought this entire series was going to go.
I was watching. I checked in like twice last night. I fell asleep halfway through the second quarter because I played a doubleheader yesterday. Oh, Matt, between West Rock and the New whatever river goes through Southern, it cuts through that park down below Southern, right by like the New West Cafe. I was at that ballpark playing ball, dude. Okay. The humidity because of West Rock in the brook was trapped in the ballpark. So it was like 20 degrees hotter and more humid on that field than it was across the parking lot. Dude, it was brutal. So I get home. I was at a barbecue that night. So I had to drive from New Haven to Southbury to Danbury, which is, about 55 minutes in total-ish. I'm there until about 8 o'clock. I get home. Diamondbacks had already lost. I'm already miserable. And I sit down. I start playing Battlefront 2 with the boys. And I make it. I have the game on the other screen. I made it through one game. I paused and say, boys, I'm going to step off for a second. Out cold. Unconscious. Okay? I couldn't. I literally fell asleep with my phone in my hand, my remote in the other. I had a half a glass of whiskey sitting next to the thing. I woke up like 6 a.m. this morning. I was like, but why is there whiskey next to my bed? I'm like, did I lay down? And I'm like, I was sitting in my chair last time. I remember it was like I was so unconscious. I must have put my glass of whiskey down on like the other side of my nightstand, like by my door, waddled over my bed with the remote in my hand on my phone, knocked out, woke up at 6. I'm like, what happened? But nice. I was so exhausted. But yeah, I watched all 30 seconds of the highlight. I checked my phone. I watched some of the clips. It looked like the Thunder were in control the entire game. There was a certain point where the Pacers started to creep back in, but then, you have your usual, all right, SGA hits a jumper, it gets a foul. Then you have one supporting cast member, number 1, 2, or 3 hits a shot. Insert Jalen Williams, Lou Dort, or obviously Chet Holmgren. So to me, it's like par for the course. Indiana, you're going back home for game 3. Just get one there. I said this was going to go 7, so I'm not really that surprised.
I'm going to stick to the whole. I think it's going to be 5. OKC is just going on a streak right here.
Why would you want to hurt me that much?
I just don't. I can't do it after
Your own owner wants to hurt your team more than the Pacers do.
I know. I'm still a little upset with the firing. I get it, kind of, but like I'm still upset about it.
You who are living under a rock. They did fire. The Knicks did fire Thibodeau over the weekend. So,
which like my issue was like it was so quick. Like I heard like they're talking about it, and all of a sudden 5 minutes later like we fired him. I was like, ooh, that was a quick conversation.
Yeah, my brain was like trying to re-rack what happened. I said, what? Why? He won.
Yeah. I will say, I think there were things that Thibodeau needed to do to improve as a coach in modern day NBA. I think he needed to adjust to how the game is this day. I think he needs to use the bench a little more, give his starters a little bit of rest, not run them into the ground. Just be adaptive. Just be willing to change. But he 110%, in my opinion, he deserved to come back at least for another year. I mean, he has fixed that team's culture. He brought them to the Eastern Conference Finals for the first time in about 25 years. I mean, before him, the Knicks were a joke, and he turned them into a serious threat in this league going forward. And I think he should have just came back for another year. I think they should have brought him back. I don't think they should have fired him right away. And I don't even know what their plan B is. I've heard Jeff Van Gundy. I've heard Johnny Bryant. I've heard possibly Mike Malone, but then I've heard maybe not Mike Malone. I heard they wanted to get Jay Wright out, and Jay Wright's not interested. Now they want to talk to Jason Kidd. I don't know what they want to do. I trust Leon Rose. That's what's keeping me sane with this, but I just don't fully agree with the firing.
What bugs the hell out of me, and this is just me being straight up. I had tips in Minnesota, okay? So I understood the shtick, okay? I get it. He runs his guys into the ground. He plays them hard. There's a lot of like, okay, this is the wear and tear. It's this, it's that. I understand the frustration. I really, truly do. So Knicks fans, I get it. This is the farthest y'all have gone since I was 5 years old. I'm 30, okay? As somebody as a Timberwolves fan who's experienced pain for over a decade before the drafting of our team savior, Mr. Anthony Edwards, Father of the Year, that's about his dog, not about his soon-to-be son. I don't, actually he does have a kid with a girl he's actually dating, which is why it's hilarious. Anyway, so I get it. But at the same time, unless you're going to grab Mike Malone, which if they do grab Mike Malone, okay, bravo, James Dolan, it's like the blind squirrel finally gets a nut. You finally got one right. Okay, congratulations. And somebody made a theory about James Dolan started interfering because the LA Sphere, which was built by his company, was done. So he's like, time to meddle again. I love that theory. That is my favorite theory of the whole NBA offseason. At the same time, it's also the Knicks, who I think are so fun for basketball. There's about a list of like 5 teams that need to be good for basketball to be fun. It's the Heat, it's the Knicks, it's unfortunately the damn Lakers. If they can get rid of LeBron, I'm back on board. Celtics, unfortunately, they're a staple franchise, and the Bulls. Those are the 5 teams you need to have involved. Everyone else is gravy. Timberwolves being good, then you got the whole Northwest corridor involved. Congratulations. The Nuggets, bring back the Carolina Brew uniforms, we'll talk. The Kings, listen, when the Kings are good, it's a fun team to watch. They have a great following. And, dude, when I was a kid, I remember the OG Kings teams with Mike Bibby, Peja, Brad Miller, Chris Webber, Doug Christie. Those teams, Gerald Wallace, those teams were loaded. They just kept running to the Lakers every year. But it's like, to me, the NBA has a problem, and this is evidently showing. One, we could talk about the whole Laker, like the court not having the NBA logo. They talk about it for safety, but then they said screw it for the in-season tournament. We'll make them all wild looking. Adam Silver might be. I think this is the most hilarious part, and I hate to detour it. Adam Silver is the worst commissioner in sports, and it's not even close. Because Rob Manfred stumbles through his job. Bettman, same thing, and they both do it right. They look at Roger Goodell like an evil mastermind boss villain, and he still does his job better than this. Adam Silver, who some of us called the best commissioner in sports, has found a way, since rest in peace to the GOAT David Stern, the gangster himself, to kill every bit of ability and marketability of the game from the start. When did a snake? You look at when Stern relinquished power to Mr. Silver. I believe it was 2015 or 2014, but I'm not sure. It was around the LeBron Lakers timeline. Anyway,
he officially retired in 2014. Yeah.
Yep. I can't help it. He looks like the teacher from the first teacher from from South Park, Mr. Mackey. Okay. Anyway, sorry for my rant. Tibbs, dumb firing. The Knicks are going to regret it unless they get Mike Malone, who I hate, but I respect as a coach. So, here or there.
Yeah, they got the team. They got a talented bunch. So they got the team. It's kind of like what I'm dealing with the Jets is that they got a lot of playmakers on the team. They just need the right guy, to run that team. And we'll see if the Knicks wind up having that same scenario where maybe they get the right guy, or we'll see what happens. I did see something that said pretty much every team's first season after firing Tibbs is not been well, whether they're under 500 or whether they just, they didn't do anything that season. His last season with which each team, I believe he had a great record. And then they were pretty much saying the next season with a different coach, they had a really bad first season. So we'll see if that they follow suit with that.
It's going to be rough. And I know Knicks fans are going to come for the door. I just hope my Timberwolves case, they keep letting Terrence Shannon and Rob Dillingham develop, and they let Rudy Gobert go finally. Rudy is for the memes. He's funny, but he's paid too much money to be a meme center. You could get somebody to do his job. The NBA wanted SGA in the finals. They want him to win the damn thing. He's here. He's taking on a small market team. The NBA has everything they wanted. I just hope for some way or reason he finds a way to F this up, because I love watching Adam Silver fail. I really do. It's hilarious to me. He has found a way to make baseball more popular, or at least as popular as the NBA, and it's music to my ears. As a baseball lover and somebody who grew up idolizing and loving basketball and hates what it's turned into. See, I grew up in the era with T-Mac, Duncan, KG, Kobe, Steve Francis, Yao Ming, Darius Miles, who else?
Dirk and Shaq.
Corey Maggette, Shaq, Dirk, D. Wade. I grew up young Carmelo, young, likable LeBron James, Chris Bosh, Vince Carter, Jermaine O'Neal. The list goes on and on. I could name these guys because this is the team I grew up with. All the guys that were in this amazing video game here, NBA Street Volume 3, like NBA Street Volume 2, like that's what I grew up on, right? NBA Live 05, 06. Gilbert Arenas, another one, right? Richard Jefferson, Jason Kidd, Kenyon Martin. That's back when the game was fun.
AI.
These guys had attitude. They were AI. Damn, right? Talk about influence. Now I'm like, I look at half the guys in the league and I'm like, yo, like on every team, it's like, okay, I like 3 or 4 players. Like, obviously, I'm a Timberwolves fan, right? But I love the Jokic. I love Giannis. I love Dame. Jimmy Butler, obviously. Steph, I got respect for. He's a legend. I have respect LeBron. I respect Luka. Their game speaks for itself. But I don't respect SGA. I think he's lame. I think he's soft. I think if you plopped him into the 90s or 2000 NBA, KG would have elbowed him through the side of his head. Sheed Wallace would have thrown him to the bleachers. Ben Wallace would have kicked him through the bleachers. Bill Laimbeer might have thrown him through the door. To me, it's like it's soft, and it's not an image I think the NBA should have. When you go play ball at the Y, or you play ball like in high school or college, it's a physical game. It's not contact, but it's physical. SGA and what he does with the foul baiting on stuff, it's lame, dude. Even like Brunson does. I'm kind of happy Brunson got knocked out. No offense, man. I wanted the Knicks to win. But the foul baiting Olympics it would have been if it was Knicks Thunder. I'm done talking about this. You guys have any thoughts on Thibodeau getting fired before we move into? I think we're talking Nick Chubb next, right?
You got anything, Nate?
No, I mean, game one was nice. I mean, not to go too off topic, but game one, seeing Halliburton be clutch was cool. But game two, Thunder showed who they were or who they are and why they're the best team in the best team in the NBA. For a good period of time. No, I don't got much. I'm rooting for the Pacers, but my team's not in it, so I don't really care too much. So,
all right. Y'all ready to do some our top 10 running backs?
You want to go Chubb first or no, boss?
Oh yeah, well, actually, that's a good lead in. So, it's actually it's been reported Nick Chubb joining the Houston Texans loaded backfield. They still include Dameon Pierce and Joe Mixon. Congrats to Nick for getting another shot. I love seeing him I hope he gets a couple carries this year. I hope the rehab goes well. I was rooting so hard for him last season to get touches and get carries. And it's just a good story. I hope he really does at least find some kind of success in Houston. I want Houston to succeed, man. They're like that team, even if it's for our boy Hector. Like, the Texans are fun. They're a lot of fun. Like, there's not a team in the AFC South I hate. Like, I actually root for all four teams at a certain level. Like, you want the Texans to win because of, CJ Stroud, now Nick Chubb, Nico Collins, D'Amico Ryan's our coach. Titans, Cam Ward, no other explanation needed. Colts, because of our boy DJ, I guess. And JT, I love Jonathan Taylor.
It's just a harmless division.
Yeah, you're like, oh, he's a great guy kind of division. That's what it is.
Yeah, I mean, even though I'm an AFC fan, I don't have any issue with any of those.
It's the opposite of the NFC South, where I want to fight every team that's in that division. The Jaguars, that's the Jaguars.
They did Dougie P wrong.
They did Dougie P dirty. They blamed Dougie P for Trevor Lawrence's incompetence. But yeah, good for Nick Chubb. 1-year deal. I believe it's around veteran minimum, right, Nate, or close to it.
Yeah, it's a 1 year, $2.5 million deal that can go up to $5 million.
Wow, it's really light. I think this is. I'll go off on a limb and say I think the Texans could very well have the best running back group on paper in the league right now. I mean, you got Joe. If you told me like 3 years ago, you had Joe Mixon, Nick Chubb on the same team, and Dameon Pierce, because Dameon Pierce as a rookie actually had a pretty decent season, I would have been like, holy crap, that's probably going to be the best rushing attack in all of the NFL. Obviously, with Nick Chubb's injury, that's probably not going to happen. But it's also not entirely impossible for him to maybe gain some sort of starting role down there, because Joe Mixon had an amazing season last year. He's going to be the number one running back on that team, as he deserves to be. But that was the first time I think I've seen him healthy for just about the entirety of the season in a very long time. And he has an injury history that comes with him. So I don't think it's entirely impossible that Mixon gets banged up and Nick Chubb turns out to be the number one guy for the period of time down there. But for the time being, I think he's going to see a similar role to what he and Kareem Hunt had, except I think it's just going to be reversed. And I mean that in the sense of playing time, not like he's going to be the receiving back. I think what's going to happen is I think Mixon's going to be the starting back. Obviously, he's going to be the primary, catch the ball out of the backfield running back. And he's going to get the first, he's going to get the majority of the looks with the carries. But I think Nick Chubb could be a really good third and goal or third and short kind of guy if they need to hand it off to somebody with a little bit of that power he's got. So I think if used correctly, this could be a really great duo for them. But I also don't think it's entirely impossible to see Nick Chubb become the RB1 if Mixon does go down, because history shows he probably will eventually get hurt.
Mixon's biggest problem is availability, and that perfect lead in. So we're doing the series right now. We're ranking top 10 receivers. We're doing top 10 quarterbacks, running backs, tight ends. I kind of want to just stop there. I don't know. Defense gets sketchy. It's kind of like it gets a little into the weeds. I mean, we'll talk about it obviously as the offseason goes on, but at least for our shows, it's kind of fun. It's kind of a nice little game of play. So we're doing running backs. So as is tradition, I'll go first. It's simple. Top 10 running backs in the league right now. 2 honorable mentions. We'll start with the honorable mentions. Number one, he's probably still one of the better dual threat backs in the league. I can't stand the team he plays for him personally, but he's good at what he does. Maybe the best contact balance I've ever seen. It's Alvin Kamara. Number two, the other number mentioned, guy from the same draft class, and we just talked about him, Joe Mixon. I think Joe Mixon's the reason he's not in the top 10 is because of his availability. When he's on the field, he's a top 10 back, but he gets knocked out of here behind the guys in front of him because he's not on the field enough. I could also throw David Montgomery in there as another one, but that's a whole thing. Anyway, number 10, Bucky Irving, best rookie running back by a mile, my man. He is a explosive animal. Love Bucky Irving. He is very similar to Kamara. We can run, he can catch, and he gave the Buccaneers so much life this year. His official stats, if my phone wouldn't lock itself because I had all these written down for this specific reason, Buckland Irving. I'm just kidding on his name, by the way. 17 games, 207 attempts, 1,100 rushing yards, 8 rushing TDs, and 382 through the air receiving on 47 receptions. Solid, especially when he was swapping carries with Rojo. Anyway, then we're going to go to number 9, Mr. James Cook, following in his brother's footsteps, being an explosive running back for a playoff team. Gotta love it. 207 carries, 1,000 yards rushing. I believe one of the first Bills running backs to have 1,000-yard rushes is Fred Jackson. 16 yards. Oh, no, sorry, Shady. 16 rushing TDs, 32 receptions for just under 300 yards, and 2 receiving touchdowns. Great at the goal line for Buffalo, especially in that wild, zany offense they love to run. Number 7. Wait, no. Yep. No, 8. Sorry. Jonathan Taylor. JT had a little bit of a renaissance resurgence last year, regardless of how bad the QB situation was. 1,400 yards, 11 TDs, 1 TD through the air. Not as much of a running threat, but he's so good on the ground. I'm sorry, as a receiving threat. He's like Derrick Henry. He's so good on the ground. You got to put him ahead in this list. The explosiveness, power, contact, balance combo is amazing. Number 7, give me the Rams, Kyron Williams. The respect I have for this player is undoubtedly known because he's the only player in the Rams I fear besides Matthew Stafford. I fear Stafford. Game on the line, Stafford's got that dog in him. Kyron Williams running the ball downhill has that dog in him. 14 rushing TDs in only 16 games, 300 attempts, 1,300 yards, 4.1 yards a carry, which is great. 2 receiving TDs on 182 yards receiving. Just a very good weapon when he's available for the Rams. Next, I'm going to go CMC. He didn't have great stats last year. The Niners were terrible, but you still have to put respect on his name. When he is healthy, he's still a top 10 running back. Number 5, give me the touchdown king last year. Give me Jahmyr Gibbs. I only knock him down this list because he's still a lot of what made him great was Ben Johnson using him creatively and him being able to be a smash and dash combo with Montgomery. But nevertheless, 250 attempts, 1,400 yards, 16 touchdowns, 4 receiving touchdowns, 500 yards receiving, probably one of the best all-around backs in the league. I think this kid will be a top 3 running back by the end of the year. I think one of my top 2 backs will be out. It's not Saquon. Anyway, we're moving on here. I'm going to go with the grounded pounder for the softest team. They're as soft as melted cheese. Give me Josh Jacobs at number 4. 300 attempts, 1,300 yards, 15 rushing touchdowns, a receiving touchdown, 340 yards rushing. He made that Packers offense lethal because even when Jordan Love looked inept and couldn't hit the broadside of a barn because he's an overrated quarterback, Josh Jacobs kept that offense going, and he kept the respect on the running game enough for opening up in the passing game for Jordan Love. I think people underestimate Jacobs because obviously, had 3 fumbles. His numbers weren't as good as Gibbs, but I put him ahead of Gibbs because you have to have so much respect for Jacobs and his power, speed, and agility combo and his patience as a runner. You have to put another guy in the box, which allows Love to get the one-on-ones downfield and make the throws. All right, Number 3, now we're getting to the heavy hitters here. Give me Bijan Robinson. We were all waiting for Bijan to have his big jump, and he was electric. 1,500 yards rushing, 14 touchdowns, almost 500 yards receiving, 1 touchdown there. He was the motor behind, and this is with him splitting carries with Tyler Algier. Phenomenal stats.
Could you imagine if it just actually worked with Kirk?
I know. And honestly, Nate, for the record, let's flip Jacobs and Gibbs. I realized I made a mistake there.
Gibby.
Yeah, put Gibbs at 4. Number 2, all hail the King, King Henry. I'm so happy to see him succeeding in another place. Tennessee was going to rot him alive. Goes and has a near 2,000-yard season in a new location past the age of 30. You know how I know that? Derrick Henry's a year and a half older than me. Good for you, Derrick. I'm proud of you. 17 games, 325 yards, 1,900 yards rushing, 16 touchdowns, 2 receiving touchdowns, and almost 200 yards receiving. Good for Derrick, man. You got to love it. Only 1 fumble loss. They look great in year 9. You got to respect. That's why he's the king. Can't beat it. And, of course, number 1, it's a bird. It's a plane. It's Saquon Barkley. 2,000 yards rushing, 345 attempts, 13 touchdowns, probably about 24 if it wasn't for the tush push. Sorry, Packers, you lose again. 300 yards receiving, or just under 300 yards receiving, 2 receiving touchdowns. His only fumble lost was on a BS call against the Jaguars that the league referees apologized for. This guy was untouchable. He honestly probably could have won the MVP. So good as a runner. He was a breath of fresh air for Philadelphia, and hopefully he is for next years to come. And it could happen to a better guy in year 7. So Saquon Barkley's my number 1 running back. Matthew.
All right, let me find my list really quick. Where did this person go? There we go. All right, so honorable mention. So fun fact, I did not include Breece Hall as much as I would have loved to.
I don't even have my top 15, so I don't. I think you're
no. No, he doesn't deserve it.
He's not available. He'd be a top 10 running back if he was available.
I mean, the thing is that he's been healthy the last 2 years. He's just not busting through the gaps.
You guys have functional morons as your OCs for the last 2 years.
Yeah, that is fair. So we'll see if that's different this year. But honorable mentions, I do have Devon Achane and James Conner. James Conner was actually very good last year. Was available, and he had a very good season. Just given the fact of his injury history, I got them in the honorable mentions. And I'm basing my list off of how these guys performed last year. So that's how I'm pretty much ranking these guys, not overall. Number 10, I have the most electric rookie running back in the league last year, Bucky Irving. He pretty much phased Rachaad White out of that offense, which sucked for a lot of people in fantasy. But he just quickly became that RB1 down there. And he had a 90.0 rushing grade with PFF, 62 forced missed tackles as well. And he led the NFL with about 3.93 yards after contact per attempt. Just an insane guy. So he's my number 10 right now. Number 9, I have Kyren Williams, who had a very good season. And for the first time in a while, he was completely available. I snagged Blake Corum in a lot of the last rounds in fantasy because I was expecting him to not be healthy the entire year, and I had to drop him because I couldn't hold on to him anymore because he was just that good last year.
Blake Corum for all Kyren Williams guys are going to want you to draft Blake Corum again next year, okay? That also goes for drafting A.J. Dillon and Keaton Mitchell. So all, Henry and Saquon continue to follow suit.
Yeah, so this year will be the one year I don't touch him and he just gets hurt. I got him. Anyways, number 8, I threw Joe Mixon on at the 8. Mixon has had an 87.6 rushing grade for the last 3 seasons. That's the 7th highest grade amongst running backs. He was great last year. He was available. Probably obviously I think his best season last year, and hopefully he could replicate it this year. Number 7, James Cook had a monster year. Like you said, like his brother, he was just very impactful, very fast this year. I believe he had like 14 or 16 touchdowns. He broke OJ's single season, I believe, rushing touchdown record or touchdowns by running back in general this year. So great year by him. Currently not in camp. Great for my Jets. Terrible for the Bills. Anyways, Number 6, Christian McCaffrey. We are approaching that era of running backs with McCaffrey where he is no longer a top 3 guy. You know, he's no longer the number 1 pick in fantasy. He's no longer maybe a top 3, top 4, top 5 running back right now.
He's a pick in fantasy this year. I hate to tell you.
Don't get me wrong. When he is healthy, he is still a great running back, and he still has that potential to get back into that top status. It's just you got to be available for it. And he's been notoriously hurt. He has had a couple great seasons with San Francisco so far. So I want to see him get back on track. But for right now, I have him at 6, which I think is pretty respectable for him. Josh Jacobs is my 5. Amazing season last year. We always knew he was that dog in Oakland, but he just finally got to the Packers, and Matt LaFleur was just using him a little more correctly, and he stayed healthy. And he had a monster year, and that's why I'm at the 5. Number 4, Bijan Robinson, amazing year, like you mentioned. You already mentioned all the stats. I don't need to go over it, but he finally had that year. Unlike Kyle Pitts, he had a year where we said, oh, man, this is going to be the year. This is it. This is when he breaks out, and he actually broke out. We are still waiting for Kyle Pitts, but we are not waiting for Bijan Robinson anymore. Number 3, one of my favorite running backs in the league currently, Jahmyr Gibbs. That man can do it all. I mean, he's kind of like a Kamara where he's not going to rush for like 100 yards each game, but he is going to receive for probably 50, 60 plus. He'll have like 3 touchdowns a game if you really want him to. That man is a machine, both with his legs and his hands. And he just, him and David Montgomery just had that streak where each one was just scoring a touchdown every single day, every single game of the week. And he's my number 3 right now. And I think the sky's the limit for him. Number 2, King Henry, 31 years old, still is doing it. And he is special. He is the last pure running back. He is a guy that 95% of him is just running.
I would say, like, I put Saquon in there and James Conner too, but I mean, like.
No, I mean, I'm just talking, this man he runs. He just uses his legs and he just bulldozes that pile and he just gets it going. He is just a old school type running back in that sense. But at 31 years old, that man can still run for 1,500 plus yards. So I got him at the 2. He is not slowing down. And I hope he's that next, when I say that next Adrian Peterson, Frank Gore, I mean that next type of running back to still play at a high level in his mid-late 30s. I hope he's that next guy that has a pretty long career, just still performing at a peak where you can still be RB1.
I would love for him to pat Emmitt Smith. That'd be so cool.
Yeah.
And with respect to Emmitt, just like, I know Saquon won't do it because unfortunately Saquon had to play in running back purgatory for 4 years. But now, like, you know, Saquon, or 6 years, whatever it was. But now, you know, he obviously could probably salvage his career, make himself a Hall of Famer. But dude, I'd love to see Derrick Henry catch what's his face, Emmitt Smith's record. That'd be so cool.
The only thing that'll probably keep him is that those first like 2 years where he was kind of behind DeMarco Murray and he was a little slow to get his career going until he was in like year 3 or 4. So if he had those first 2 years, he probably would have been a lot closer. But
Emmitt Smith didn't start right away in Dallas. I mean, it's a shot. If he keeps averaging 1,900 yards, he's got it. He's got the ammo.
That's fair. And number 1, right? No surprise, is Saquon Barkley. I mean, I don't know. You might have to go back to Adrian Peterson's like almost record-breaking year for the last time we had a
in 2011.
Yeah, no, this was just such a special year for a running back and just him in general. I mean, this was what we expected Saquon to be. He finally got the line to be able to do that. Sorry, Nate. They tried, but Philly just was like, this is an established long-term.
We sleep on offensive line. Let's go.
Listen, that line got Miles Sanders a like 3-year deal with Carolina. So that line got Miles Sanders paid. You know you're going to do well.
That line got DeAndre Swift paid.
Yeah.
That he literally runs himself out of time. That line could have gotten Trent Richardson paid.
Yeah. You know what? Yeah, you're right. He's my number 1. Listen, that's the best season by a running back in a very long time, and he deserves to be the one right now.
Yeah, I love it. All righty. Nate, let's hear it, brother.
Yes, sir. I'll make mine quick. You know, I don't want to go too. You know, obviously, you guys gave good reasons for your list and whatnot, so I don't want to go too long.
We're stat what happens?
Yeah, it's all good. It's all good. If I want to do my own reasoning, I'll do it on my own show. That way, I don't want to. If there's any other topics we want to discuss on here, we can do so. Honorable mention for me, Joe Mixon, Chubb Hubbard. Love Hubbard, by the way. Heck of a season last year.
There's so many to mention.
Yeah, I know, honestly. But I like him a lot, though. I'm glad he got the full-time role. And
running back is back, baby.
By the way, I feel bad for Jonathan Brooks, that the rookie they drafted a couple years ago. He's not gonna.
Dude, his poor knees just can't take it.
Can't take it. Second round pick. Don't look too good. But my top 10 is as follows from 10 to 1. James Conner, James Cook, CMC, Jonathan Taylor, Kyron Williams, Josh Jacob, Jahmyr Gibbs, Bijan Robinson, King Henry. And I miss him very much sometimes, Saquon Barkley.
Jonathan Taylor's a little bit of a surprise to me.
I like it. He kind of struggled a little bit last year, but I mean, let's be honest, the passing game kind of took a lot of pressure.
Such a hard running back to beat. Like and the thing is, he's been doing it. He's like Saquon, where like he had the mileage in college, and he's in same with DH, and you're just like, damn. Like Jahmyr Gibbs suffered at Georgia Tech for 3 years, goes to Alabama, lights it up, gets drafted first round.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. All right, cool. It's our top 10 list for running backs. You boys got anything else before we roll out here?
No, Sean O'Malley sucks, and that's about it. Just a little
That
UFC
was
shit.
the
Yeah, who won?
worst.
By the way, I didn't even want. I was so
Wrong.
tired of saying who won. Oh, he did?
Submission.
Okay.
O'Malley abstained from personal things for a full year and fought worse than he did before he decided to change that lifestyle of
It
his.
came out to the worst fight song I've ever heard.
He came out to, oh, Jared, listen to this. You're going to hate this. He came out to, and I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free, and he got rocked. He tapped. He came out to that beautiful American anthem,
Do not
and
come out.
he tapped out.
Oh, what nationality guy you fought?
Marab. He's from
Dagestanian.
Georgia. Not
Oh,
our
he's from Georgia,
Georgia.
not
Like, yeah.
He's the country Georgia.
Georginian.
I think I thought they said he was fighting out of Long Island or something last. I don't know if he lives here, but he's from there.
Let's see, Marab. Yeah, he's.
I did
Georginian.
enjoy everybody butchering that last name. I also don't know how to say his last name. But
This is why, unfortunately, for me,
Ivashvili.
I've been spoiled as a UFC fan because I'm a fan of the GOAT. So that's what happens. John Bones Jones, baby. I've been a Bones fan since freaking college. I took heat from it. Me and Matt's boy used to give me heat for that all the time. Especially when McGregor was on his little 5-year run. I used to catch strays all the time. I'm like, let's see who lasts longer in this game. All right.
Oh, that's random. Marab became a citizen in 2024.
Yeah. So
Anyways,
wrong song choice there, dog.
no, I was just trying to figure out where he was fighting out of. I think it was New York, so I was just trying to see if I was correct or not. But yeah, John Jones just signed his deal to fight Tom Aspinall, so I'm very excited for that. It'll be a nice heavyweight matchup.
My boy is back, baby.
Yeah, he is one guy. He is one guy that surprises me because we've seen some greats like Ronda Rousey, like Conor McGregor, even going back a little more, like you would see like Chuck Liddell and guys like that would be the top of their game, best of the best, and then they take some time off, whether it's a year, whether it's 2 years, and they eventually come back for another fight or two, and it's just not at all the same.
And Bones is going to give you it. He is the LeBron James, Michael Jordan type, Kobe type, where he's going to come in the best shape of his life, ready to rock and roll. Now, if Dana White fudges a drug test, not just kidding, Daniel Cormier, just to make the fight invalid, because I watched that 2017 fight, it wouldn't have mattered if John Jones was drunk; he would have beaten Cormier.
Yeah.
That
so
was
my point is that. No, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. But my point is that
the best analogy of that fight is that it was like a great white shark attacking a seal. The second Jones got a shot on him, it was over. But
yeah, as much as I wanted him, I wanted DC to take that fight. There was no way after how that trajectory was going that he was going to take that one. But what I'm getting at is that a lot of great fighters take some time off and they come back and it's just not the same. And you almost kind of wish that they just stayed retired because you enjoyed what you remembered them last. And John Jones is the complete opposite. He should be that guy, but that man could take 3 years off and comes back. It may not be the most perfect John Jones vintage fight ever, but he still gets the job done. He still wins. And 90% of the time, he still overpowers his opponent, whether it's the grappling, whether he gets him on the ground, whether he just knocks him out, taps him out, whatever he's got to do. He still fights at the top of his game.
That's why I think he's the greatest fighter of all time. Because he's never, McGregor was a striker. Khabib is a grappler. You know what these guys do. Jones is like, I'm going to beat your ass at some way. I don't know how I'm going to do it, but I'm going to do it. And you got to respect the fact that this dude just does it in different ways. Like the Gustafsson fight was him striking. The last fight he had after the Gustafsson fight, where it was against the new young kid, where he just outlasted him. There's been fights where he's just grappled the entire time. He's the GOAT for a reason.
Last thing, if that's okay, or I'll wait till you guys finish. I'll make the last point if that's okay.
No, I'm done. What do you got,
Matt?
If he wins this fight, they need to build a statue for him outside of the Sphere or somewhere in Vegas.
Mm-hmm. On a little, the Sphere thing is pretty cool. Just want to point that out. But Paul Skeens, 1.88 ERA, 92 strikeouts, but he's 4-6. Get him out of Pittsburgh, man. I'm so sorry.
What did I think you were about to just read me a
team
contract he just signed or something?
Oh, that'd be. He re-signs with the Pirates for 8 years and purgatory.
Honestly, he reminds me of a young Jacob deGrom on the Mets. Because Jacob deGrom would have a stat line of a 2.0 ERA or even better, like a 1.8 ERA, but he would be 3-5 or 3-6 because the Mets were just that bad. And that's what Paul Skeens is turning out to be.
Or something.
Yeah, he would get no run support. He would pitch a 7-run shutout. He would pitch a 7-inning shutout, and his team would score 1 run, maybe 2, and then the opponent would just put the bullpen in, and then they would just score 5.
I will put this out there. Besides football, baseball is the ultimate team game because you need your relievers, your starters, your infield, and your hitters all to be on their shit.
Yeah, you need a catcher to call a good game.
You just have 2 guys go off, and the other 3 bodies just stand there and play defense. Or even just like be obstacles, and you can win a series. Whereas I think with baseball, you need to have all 9 guys on their shit, or else you're going to lose.
Yeah, literally, the DH could make a small error, and that could change the trajectory of the game.
Yeah, like he could overrun a base and get tagged out, costing the team a run, and then the middle reliever's got to get more pressure. It's baseball in football. Baseball. Almost as much as football is the ultimate team sport because it may be all individualized, but every individual has to perform their duty to achieve a greater goal. It is the ultimate synapses for life.
Yeah. You could round third base and your third base coach is telling you don't go and you go anyways and you're out. That changes the whole trajectory of the game, but you could be an offensive lineman and get a holding penalty it's fine.
One of our best players, our shortstop, hit a double in the gap. He tried to leg it out for a triple, and he got gunned out. He stopped our rally call. We had scored 2 runs. We had all of our best hitters coming up, and then you got me. I'm at the back end of the good hitters, and so I got a hit, got a double, scored on a single because your boy was hauling ass around third base. I stole a base yesterday, by the way. I'm pretty proud of myself.
There we go.
Nice.
I beat a pickoff throw on a stolen base.
Yeah.
I Corbin Carroll that thing. Also because he wasn't even looking at me. I just kind of like half walked to third base and just took off and there was a lump in front of third, so it like projected me upward. I had like land Spider-Man pose on the freaking on the base. My big butt hauling ass. But I did a Naruto run through home plate. I swear.
Heck yeah.
I haven't even watched an ounce of that show. I just know that from like TikTok and stuff. Anyway, but baseball I will say is like the ultimate sport. I experienced that yesterday, but I watch it every time I watch like my Diamondbacks, the Yankees, Red Sox, whatever. Whereas like I watch the NBA Finals right now, and I'm like, okay, Shea's going off, great. Or hey, Ant dropped 40 and the Timberwolves win by 5. I'm like, because nobody was playing defense. Whereas like you can see one player will a team to victory. It's weird. But that was my rant for today. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been the Korner Booth Podcast. Matt will be off Thursday. We might be off as well. We're not sure yet. We'll let you know. Just in case we are. Matt, who are you taking on Thursday? Who are you taking on Saturday night?
The spread is 3.
Spread is 3 right now.
And this is for what, the UFL Championship?
UFL Championship.
Why would I not be taking the Defenders?
I'm taking the Panthers. Give me EJ Perkins to solidify why he is the MVP.
No, he's a runner-up. He's the assistant to the MVP.
Oh, I'm sorry. The guy who cannot hit a broadside of a barn in an elite defense should not be the MVP. Elite defense is why you guys won. Nate, what do you got?
DeAndre Baker and Tate Crowder, baby. Give me the defenders.
Kiss of death. Here we go.
No.
All right. We'll announce if we're doing a Thursday show this week. We may give the boys a night off. Matt and Nate have definitely deserved it. I don't deserve shit, but they deserved it. So, ladies and gentlemen, hope you guys have an amazing week. If we do, we'll see you Thursday. Shout out to our sponsors, Righteous Felon, official sponsor of the Korner Booth Top 10s, and of course, the Korner Booth Podcast and Belly Sports. Belly is the promo code, 15% off, best meat snacks on the market. Candips, promo code Belly 20 for 20% off. I use it for baseball every week. It is the best dip substitute you can buy. Belly of 20 is the code. Use it freely. And then, of course, SeatGeek, the best ticketing app on the planet. $20 off your first purchase with the code BellyUpSports. We will see you guys soon, either Thursday or Monday. Peace. Oh, check out 3rd and 10 with Nate and Brian.
Oh, thank you.